Hello, welcome back. Let's move into questioning skills. So the use of questions. Questions are important tools for gaining information during a past life regression. A good regressionist uses questioning to make her an active participant in the session. Yeah, I'm just pausing and pondering on that because it is so important. Your questions become everything, don't they? Questions can be used to promote thought, to get them thinking about something, to get their participation, to keep them interested if things are starting to, go all over the show, or you're losing them. You want more questions, you want short questions, you want them closer together if you feel like you're losing them somewhat. And they're also to confirm knowledge. So you're to use questions, we often forget about this, to make sure we know what's going on. And that could be a question like, are you saying that is your mother? When you're not quite, you might be a bit confused about how they've presented it. So questions to confirm knowledge. They will be used throughout the regression as a way to connect, to build on existing knowledge, and to prompt them to access more information. Listening is a very, very important skill in this work. As a regressionist, you need to listen carefully so you can ascertain whether to ask more questions or to guide your client in a particular way. So we have open and closed questions, which we've already talked about. So the open ones are used to explore info and they require more than one word answers. Well, actually we haven't. We've talked about leading questions. We haven't talked about open and closed ones. So what, how and where are good beginnings for open questions. What is going on now? How are you feeling seeing that? Where is your horse now? So that can give an open answer from them. Closed questions can usually be answered with one word. They're not used as often as open ones, and they're needed when a client is reluctant to speak. And I think they're good at the beginning of scenes as well, or for people who are finding it tricky to answer. They just need simple answers. And which is why we use a lot of them at the beginning of a regression when they first step out. Is it night or day? Are you male or female? Is anyone there with you? They're simple answers. If there is an affirmative answer to that last question, you might go on with an open question. What are they doing? So you might not have thought of this yet when we're getting these early questions. So these closed small questions. Then you could go out with an open question, couldn't you? That could be really helpful. So using the client's name in questioning, this is helpful when we initially require them to talk to us, when they're having trouble paying attention, and when they're reluctant to speak. It can also be useful when you feel a need to give firm guidance to move someone out of a situation that you feel is of no benefit to them, using their name. Leading questions, we know about that. So they're usually too suggestive and they can sound like we expect a particular answer and that we want the client to agree with us. They're best avoided. I do hear this from students more than I'd like to. Don't you think we should da-da-da-da-da? Or shall we leave that scene now? Please don't ask your clients that. You make a decision about that. Are you male? I think we can get away with that question sometimes if we're very well established, or or maybe we're scoring them like an 8 or 9 or something, and that's readily available. But that could be leading, so be careful with that sort of thing. Do start a session with easy questions. Do rephrase the question if your client doesn't understand, and do give plenty of time for your client to answer. Don't use the same question too often. I know we are often saying, what happens next, then what happens, then what happens. I mean, you might need to mix that up just slightly. Don't use leading questions, and don't use ambiguous ones. Although often after the fact that we realise we've done that. Like, how many rooms are in your house? It's a bit ambiguous, isn't it? Because do they count the bathroom? Do they count the furnished hallway? You don't want them thinking, so keep it pretty simple. So here are some questions. Some new questions maybe for you. If they're slow, just keep asking questions. Quiet, supportive patience is often needed. Don't be in a hurry to move the story forward. So some possible early questions, clues to what to explore and anchor them in the life. Does your body feel healthy? I mean, these are not just for the beginning, but they could be helpful at the beginning. Does your body feel healthy? That can be a helpful question at any point, really, can't it? Especially if you think that it might not be. Are you wearing jewelry? Does it have any significance? Are you carrying anything? Are you wearing anything on your head? What color is your skin? I'm thinking, does your body feel healthy? Would it be a first question that you'd ask? I think I'd probably just use that question when I thought that it wasn't, or thought that it might not be. Or someone who's a little bit older, possibly I might ask that. Or if I've got an intuition or I'm suspecting that. So, what colour is your skin? Tell me about your hair. How are you feeling? See, these things can help you both work out who they are and where they are. You know, get an idea of era and country and stuff possibly for yourself. How are you feeling? Can you see where you live? This is not a question, these last two, but these can be helpful. Go to where you live now. Tell me about it. Give them time to get there. That'll need a good pause if you use that one. So here's some general questioning. What do you notice? What do you observe? What happens next? What do you do about that? Oh, or what do you do about that? What do you know about that? Either of those. What do you notice about him? What else do you notice about this scene? Or maybe within this scene would be better wording. What else do you notice within this scene? What do you mean by that? Because they'll often say something that just like, what the hell do they mean? Ask them, what do you mean by that? What else do you know? Sense. Then what happens? So there's some handy questions. So you may want to note, this could be a page that you slide out. Well, you've printed this out anyway. I mean, I do, in live trainings when you've got this actual manual, it's got one of those slidey things so you can just pull these pieces out because some of them you're going to want to use. So you could notate that into your manual on the back of one of the pages or in the notes section at the back, or use sticky notes or something. I'd want these questions handy, so work out what you want to do with that. There's some helpful new questions there. Very good. Do you have any questions about questions? If you do, we can work out whether they're open ones or closed ones. All right, we'll talk about that when I see you soon. Bye-bye.